Sometimes when you're having problems with your machine, or your stitches aren't forming just right, or your thread keeps breaking, it's not the machine's fault and it's not your fault. It's because there's a little something you don't know, and that is that different manufacturers wind their threads differently, and different rayon thread can be wound differently from cotton thread. And I'm going to show you why you want to look at your thread before you decide which spool pin to use. So most machines come with both a horizontal and a vertical spool pin now, although there are still several that don't have one or the other. If you don't have a vertical spool pin, I had a machine for a long time that didn't have a vertical spool pin. So what I did was I took just like it was a child's paintbrush that had broken, and I put it on the side of my machine like that, and I taped it on there with duct tape. I taped it to smithereens, and that became my vertical spool pin. And you can do the same thing with a horizontal. Same idea, just if you don't have both, you know, put your thinking cap on and see what you can come up with so that you will have both vertical and horizontal, because you need them. And this is why you need them. Let me move that out of the way. Okay, I'm gonna get this so you can really see what I'm doing here. All right. This is rayon thread by Coats & Clark. I'm holding it vertically, as it would be if it were on a vertical spool pin, and I'm going to do that. Now, look at that. It doesn't, do you see that? Isn't that cool? It doesn't tangle at all. If I hold it horizontally, well, we're getting a lot more tangle. What if I hold it horizontally the other direction? All right, this is rayon. It's not so bad in the tangling, but you can see it was better off vertically. How about one that you use all the time? This is a pretty common brand of quilting cotton thread that I think is wonderful stuff. Okay, if I put this on a vertical spool and I pull like that, put it together, look at that. Do you see how it wound up? Okay, if it's doing that when it's on the way to the needle, it starts twisting. It gets really hard when going through the needle. It gets where it's much easier to break it. If I put it on a horizontal pin, see that? There's none at all. There's absolutely none. So I know that this brand, this specific color, this spool, for sure, needs to be horizontal. Usually if you have one that's going to be horizontal with a brand, it'll be horizontal throughout the color range, but it doesn't hurt to look. Okay, here's another really common brand of quilting thread. So I'm pulling that out for like a vertical vertical spool pin, and look at that, nice and straight. If I pull it out for a horizontal pin, yeah, not bad. I think that, you know, this one could maybe do either one. So that's a good one. We know that that one can go either direction. Here's another brand, and I'm going to just pull it out as though it's on a vertical spool. Beautiful. Horizontal spool. Not bad either. But you can see that some it makes a big difference on. So, plus, where I am right now, I'm in Colorado, and it is really, really dry. So when it's this dry in the air, you're going to have less tangling of your thread. But if you're where it's humid, this is really going to matter. So again, vertical spool pin, there's some winding. How about horizontally? Not nearly as much. So that's it. You just need to check your threads. You have all different brands out on the market now. And I'm just going to play with one more since it's here. Okay, vertically. Horizontally. Perfect. So that's what I would do. It looks like a tiny little spin, not much there when you're only holding 12 inches of thread. But when you think of the 100 of inches that run through your needle, it makes a difference. Well, I hope you enjoyed learning about that, and I hope you check your thread.